What's up, everyone? Welcome to another week of the Capsule. We got lots going on. This is your faithful host, Luke Lentis. We also have Sophia in the house. Say what's up, Sophia.
What's up?
Sophia's in a strange mood, so she's going to say lots of stupid stuff today. All right, so there's lots of stuff that happened and lots of stuff to talk about. So let's get straight into it. So a few weeks ago when we had Lee and Mus on the pod, we spoke about this Ibuki situation. Do you remember this? Yes. Spoke about this Ibuki situation, and she had put out... So to take a step back for people that did or didn't listen, there's something called A World of Women Street Fighter, and it's in Korea, and it's a reality TV dance show type beat. And they had three editions. I think it was 2 editions that were just for Koreans.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd edition was World of Women Street Fighter, as opposed to Women Street Fighter, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was it included teams from outside of Korea. There was a crew called Ojo Gang, I think that's how you pronounce it, although I could be wrong, that was put together specifically for this competition. It had people like Ibuki and Kyoka, who are both like super world famous. There's other people who are also very, very well known. Then they did the competition, they won. And then there was, what we had spoke about was that there was some issues with Ibuki and her manager having issues with the touring company. So basically, after the competition, they wanted to do like these tours of like... the people that won and maybe some other acts like will tour around and perform, and they obviously, because they had won, they were going to be part of this tour. They had issues with the touring company that Ibuki kind of was outspoken about and saying like, oh, they threatened me with breach of contract and like things that they're going to go public with, and saying like, oh, you're a bad leader. And
she made it seem like blackmail.
Yeah, exactly, like blackmail. And like they kind of she said that he went into a meeting and it was like 6 of them and she was by herself and all this type of stuff. Now, we spoke about that. It seemed kind of like, I think we were leaning towards like, oh, maybe it's like the tour company are the bad guys kind of thing, because that tends to be the thing. We still don't know the truth. However, what did happen is that Kyoka came out with a statement, which you don't know about this at all. Kyoka came out with a statement which is basically her speaking on behalf of the 6 other members.
Yeah.
So what we had spoke about was that basically Ibuki had all these issues with the tour. So she decided to not board the plane to go to Seoul to perform, right? And she said that, the other 6 members had signed the contract. This is what the tour company had told her. The other 6 members have signed the contract. So we were kind of confused by this detail of like, she decided to not go, but the other 6 signed it. But she was saying there was issues with like, they weren't paid for rehearsals and all these things. So it's like, but the other 6 signed it. So either they were successfully manipulated and you weren't, or they understood something you didn't, or there was some differentiation between this Ibuki and the 6 members. So then basically Kyoka puts out this statement, and like, I mean, you can read it, it's still up on her page, and she kind of speaks for the 6 other members and was like, maybe Sophia, you can have a look and see exactly what the wording is, but like it says something along the lines of 7 members were booked to do the thing, and through certain circumstances only 6 of them were present to perform. So she kind of like throws Ibuki under the bus without like saying her name or anything. Can you see it on there?
Yeah, it does.
What does it say?
However, due to various circumstances, not all 7 members were able to participate on the day of the event. The performance was therefore carried out by 6 members in order to keep our promise to the fans.
So this is kind of a different tune than what Ibuki was singing. So yeah, basically she says that, and then she's like, expressing our heartfelt gratitude, blah 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 blah. We love the fans, blah 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 blah. But basically says after this, Ojo Gang are going to break up, and we're going to carry on to do our own things. I don't know how you read this, or I don't know how you guys read this at home, but it seems very much like, hey, Ibuki's doing some different shit.
Yeah.
We're breaking up because we can't resolve our issues.
But I mean, she keeps also saying like we, the 6 members, like
she's making it very clear. Like the way Kyoka's written this is like she's making it very clear the differentiation between the 6 of them and Ibuki. I also heard things, I watched a couple of things on this on the internet, and I also like looked at the comments and stuff like that. So a lot of this is like unverified or whatever. But I did hear stuff of like, they were saying about the manager that like Ibuki's manager was working with the tour company and they had issues with her manager.
Yeah.
Basically, apparently I watched or saw somewhere that when Ojo Gang was like put together, they were going to meet to like decide who the manager of Ojo Gang was going to be.
Okay.
And Ibuki's manager took on the role of managing the whole of Ojo Gang.
Okay, but was it okay with everyone or?
That's what is unclear. I'm not sure. I guess so, because like they didn't kind of come out and say like what the fuck. But in a way, it's like that could lead to like a conflict of interest, because if there's something that Ibuki's not happy with, but the rest are, who's the manager going to side with potentially? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just interesting that there's always like multiple other things. I think I saw some stuff about, like the Korean dance industry has some issues, but I mean every dance industry has some issues. But so I'm sure that like this is usually the thing, and this is maybe going to be the theme of today's podcast, that like there's multiple sides to everything, in the sense that like probably there's some stuff that Ibuki did that the rest weren't happy with.
Yeah.
There's probably some stuff that she's unhappy about that is justified.
Yeah.
And there's probably something of like, okay, the manager's trying their best, whatever. And then it's also like this Route 59 touring company probably did it's business. They probably did some bullshit, like every kind of business organization. But it's probably a mix of all these things. And this is the thing, when you put together a company just for one show, it's like you're not thinking long term of like how you're going to work together. And then you're like, oh yeah, like.
But I'm curious how it was on the show. Like, I mean, I haven't watched it. Like,
Yeah.
But like, were they like getting along? Like, because now I'm thinking like not only professionally, it's messing up their relationship.
Yeah, but I think this is the thing. It's like this is why it's really difficult to like do business with friends and stuff. And it's like you have to be really careful of like partnering, because you can be the best of friends. And this is the thing. I think everybody's like not naive, but at the beginning they're like, "No, we're the best of friends. How could we ever have dispute over money?"
Yeah.
And then it's just like when money, especially what they're getting is like decent money. This is not like, some little shitty payments. When you're getting like big payouts, and then it's like, okay, a little difference in split of £100 is not a big deal. When it's like 10, 15, 20, 30 grand.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, what do you mean I'm getting paid 5k less than you?
Yeah.
Like it becomes now an issue. And it's like, yeah, everybody has their perspective on how to do business. So it's like, it's not black and white. So when something that Ibuki thought was unfair, maybe the others are like, yeah, but it's like, okay, we have to do a service to the fans of like getting there. And if we don't, then and there's a long-term thing of like keeping a relationship with our fans. Also, it might be like, we're happy. If 6 of us are happy with this thing and you're not, who wins? Because it's like, you don't want to say the majority rules, because what if 6 of them are wrong? And it's like Ibuki's the only one to go, no, we should be treated better than this. And she's standing her ground and the others are like, no, we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that just because she's the minority, she's wrong. But at the same time, she could be wrong, and that could be why she's the minority. Like, it's so complicated that it's like, and it's so funny because like these guys all have huge fan bases, and like everybody, it's so funny. Like, I don't want to indulge in YouTube comments too much, but someone commented on our last one. I'm sure she's a lovely, loyal listener, but commented like, I don't know why you would talk about stuff when you don't know the full picture, and then proceeded to say stuff that was like speculation. And it's like, well, you don't know either. You're just you're just speculating. Like, and it's like, also, it's like we're never going to cover the entirety of an entire topic. Like,
oh yeah.
Again, like I can't go into their heads and know all the different parts of it, but I think it's just interesting to bring these things up to for people to know that it's happening, and for us to also like see what the bigger lessons are. So forgive me for not being BBC News 24, but we're more bringing up topics that are, I think there's an interesting thing in there of like, these disputes are never as black and white as you think. And we suspected this when we first spoke about it, because we had said, we had said like, oh, it looks like Route 59 are the bad guys, but there's some things in there. And one of the things we brought up was like, oh, but why, what's this thing with all 6 of the other members signing it and she didn't? Like, either that's a lie or there's something in there that's fishy. And we said that on the last pod.
Yeah.
Now it comes out that like, okay, maybe it's not that Ibuki's not so in the clear based on what the other 6 members are saying.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be a fan base thing where it's like all of Kyoka's fans and all of Ibuki's fans are going to be like, meh. Plus whoever the Ojo gang people or all the other people, it's going to be a whole like fan war where people think that Kyoka's right and everyone who's like Ibuki's fan thinks she's right or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's it's just interesting, I think, like when these things happen. And it's also like, you know what I will say? Props to both of them. And this is where you see professionals, and I've complained about this in the past. Props for both of them for doing a proper like press release. Like they wrote it up carefully. They worded it very diplomatically. They put it in both languages so that it could be read in English as well. It's like some people are dealing with business disputes by like just putting an Insta story like, yo, these bastards, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this, not only is that not going to help the issue, it's not going to help you in business dealings. Like this, like, although there's something's going on and I would need to do more research, me as like if I'm talking business wise, I would happily work with Ibuki and Kyoka in future because of how they've dealt with this. So I'm like, okay, even if there's some bullshit going on and I would want to know more, you've both dealt with it publicly very professionally, so I can trust you that you can handle disputes professionally. Some people will have disputes with other people, whether it's like organizations not paying them on time or whatever, and they just go off on their Insta stories, do rants, speak terribly, and I'm like, I'm not working with you even if everything's great because of this, like how you deal with it when it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, this is one thing about professionalism that I always talk about with people is like, it's easy to be professional when everything's going well. Everyone can say, oh, I'm the most professional person. Yeah, because everything's gone perfectly. That's easy. It's when someone else is being an arsehole, it's like really complicated, nuanced, stressful, annoying situation. Then can you be professional? And that's, for me, is the mark of like a true professional. It's like if you're filming an event and everything goes perfectly, anyone can kind of do that. It's like when things go bad, that's when you need a professional videographer because you need to know what to do when things are wrong and you know, whatever.
Yeah. Bars.
But yeah, that is that. I mean, I would definitely say go and look at Ibuki's statement, Kyoka's statement. There's a few things online like breaking. It's very AI. The stuff that I watch, it's like people have just put a script in and like done it by AI. So I don't know how much you can trust all of the stuff that is in the videos that are online. But yeah, go check them out and see what you think. I said this about some other stuff, but I would also remind these fan bases out there that it's like you're not in these people's heads, you're not there, you're not getting the full information. So going crazy in the comments and cussing the other side out, it's like you're riding for someone who you don't know everything about them, regardless of what side you're on. It's like the same as like the Nicki Minaj fan bases or the Kendrick or the Drake.
100%.
It's like you don't know everything about their relationship. You don't know the situation. You're not there. And I get you want to be fans, and we've all had the thing of like, no, Kendrick's better than Drake. No, Drake's better, whatever. But when you're going ham for like, no, Drake's a fucking arsehole because of this and this and this, and then he said this to this guy, it's like, all right, relax. You don't know the situation. And it's the same with this. Like, you don't know, as much as you might think Ibuki's the bad guy or Kyoka's the bad guy, like, you don't know. And there's probably so much stuff behind the scenes that they haven't spoken about. So everybody on the internet, this is the theme. Everybody on the internet, breathe. What else we got? Sophia gang.
We're talking about a little statement that was put out.
Yes, regarding Just Debout.
Exactly.
Moscow.
I don't really have details, so
I gotcha. So I'll fill you in. So I think this was like not too long ago at the time of recording. But Maxim, I think his name is, Maximus Madstate. Basically, he put out a video because, I mean, we had heard about this a while ago and we actually were going to talk about it, but it clashed. Like, we had put a pre-recorded episode out, so we weren't able to record that week. But Just Debout announced that they're going to do a qualifier in Moscow, Russia. And I'm sure that's obvious to everyone why that's controversial. There's an ongoing war with Ukraine, and specifically, well, I mean, not just the Ukrainian dancers, but the Ukrainian dancers were, I think, pretty kind of hurt by that. And so I think his name is Maxim. Apologies if I'm not saying it right. He put out a video basically being like, kind of, Bruce, why are you doing this? And that you know, your want for money is overtaking kind of like doing what's right. It's like Maximus Madstate or something. So I'm just going to kind of present you guys the two sides of this story in a way, and you kind of decide how you feel on it. But basically, one side of it is that is and it's almost the more obvious side, which is what this guy is saying, which is like when there's an ongoing conflict where one side is the aggressor, he believes like, okay, we shouldn't support, I'm going to put support in air quotes, but like we shouldn't support that country at all, right? And I think this is where the nuance and dispute comes in, because I think we would all agree we shouldn't support the people who are the aggressors in these situations. I don't think there's really a debate in that. However, the definition of support is where these things come into dispute or nuance. And what he's saying is kind of like, look, by going to Russia, you are kind of putting money into their economy. You are giving them like opportunities. You're highlighting their like, you know, Russia as a entity, let's say. And by doing that, you're kind of not necessarily, I guess it's not necessarily support, but you're almost condoning, or I don't really know exactly, you know, what that would be, but it's like that's kind of the argument, is that you shouldn't do those things. You shouldn't be highlighting or working with anyone related to Russia kind of thing, or in Russia, or any cities in Russia while they're doing these things. Now, the thing that Bruce put some stories and replied, and it kind of taps it. Obviously, he just put a few lines on an Insta story. It's not the full context, and neither will this be. But the other side of it is that, and I'm going to talk about another situation as well, but like the other side of it is that you can disagree with a government's actions and not have an issue with the people in that country, right? This is the other side of it, where what I guess Bruce is arguing is that like it's not the dancers that have chosen to do this, it's the government. And in the same way that like France does stuff that the people in France hate, and that's why there's like, you know, protests and blah blah, Britain has a horrible history of doing things, America has a horrible history of doing things that American people and British people also disagree with, that it's like there might be Russian dancers or people who hate and disagree with the war. And I think some people's way of thinking is like, we shouldn't punish them for things that they disagree with about their government, right? One thing I think is very important, which hasn't really been touched on in this, but again, based on what I was saying about the last topic, I don't know everything about what Bruce has done or whatever. But one thing that I would say is like, if I was going to talk about, if I was going to indulge in that side of the conversation, I would need to know specifically from the people that I'm working with, are you for or against the war? Because if they say, oh yeah, we think it's a good thing, then I'm not working with you. Do you know what I mean? It's only if we're working on the assumption that the people that he's working with are against the war. If they are, then I understand Bruce's moral dilemma of saying the Russian government are doing this, but the people that are hiring me are against it. Now, then you get into the thing of money, because if it's a completely private funded thing, okay, you have, Russian people that aren't for the war, that are paying money, is going to Bruce to run the event or whatever. If the government has, if they've applied for any government grants, if they have any, government funding, then there is, even if it's a small percentage, there is a percentage where Just Debout Moscow has income which is coming from the Russian government, and therefore you can argue that they're supporting the Russian government, or they're you know what I mean, they're kind of working with them. So, and then it's like, if it is, even if it is private, I mean, this is such a complex topic, guys. I'm just doing my best to kind of present both sides. But even if it is privately funded, let's say there's 1,000 attendees, then would you have to look at all the percentage of those people to see, like, if 600 of them are for the war, then you're taking money from people who are for the, you know what I mean? It's a very difficult thing on both sides, because it's like, if you're Bruce, I understand not wanting to punish the dancers, and like I see that side of where he's coming from. However, that's a very tricky thing, because how can you, understand where all the money comes from, understand who is attending the event, what their beliefs are, and are you mistakenly supporting people? And there's also a side from that Bruce's side of the argument, which is like, art is what brings us together, and like by being dancers and connecting with other dancers, we almost like transcend political issues, and we connect as people regardless of what our governments are doing. However, from Maxim and the Ukrainian side, first of all, if you're in Ukraine and you see this, I completely get being hurt by this. So I think it's like I completely get being in or near that situation and being like, this is something that's like it's hard to step back and go, okay, well, like as long as he's not support, it's like, no, you're in the place that is like all the horrible shit is coming from. So it is really difficult for them. And I do get, the counter argument to this side is like, how do you know, like you can say, oh, we're connecting as artists and blah, blah, blah. But like, how do you know that everyone in there is not supporting the war? How do you know that the money isn't coming from the government? And there is also the argument that like doing fun, social, cool hip hop stuff there is bringing like benefits to that country, regardless of, even if it's like Russia as a country looking better. There was this whole, as an analogy, there was this whole outrage about Sophia, did you hear about the Saudi comedy festival in Riyadh?
No.
So basically, for people that don't know, there was this big comedy festival that happened in Riyadh, and a lot of big comedians got offered to go. Bill Burr went, Dave Chappelle went, Kevin Hart went, I think, Andrew Schultz, loads of like big comedians, Aziz Ansari. Shane Gillis, I think, was the first one to like say he turned it down, and he was like, yeah, it was like loads of money, but like I'm not gonna go perform in a place where like the people that did 9/11 came from, basically. And there's also all this pushback, like Mark Maron and some other people push back on like, don't go, because it's like the Saudi government do horrible human rights issues every day. And it's like the comedy festival was funded by the Saudi government. It wasn't like a private thing. Like the Saudi government put it on. And one of the criticisms of Saudi Arabia at the moment is that they call it like sports washing when they do it with sports. But it's basically they're putting all this money to create cool shit so that the world kind of doesn't think about the bad stuff that they do. Right? It's a very complicated topic because doesn't America do the same thing? Like, this is kind of like America have all these horrible things that they do, whether it's like foreign policy, whether it's like treatment of their citizens, but then they go, oh, but we have the NBA, oh, we have the Super Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we're looking at America, wow, Hollywood, but there's a lot of bullshit happening. So that's like the kind of the two sides of that argument, right? And like the comedians had a similar thing. It's like, well, why am I going to punish the citizens of Saudi who want to hear my comedy and want to laugh if just because of the government or whatever? And also another pushback was like, I forgot what I was going to say. Another pushback was if we go there to perform, then we are bringing like Western kind of like values to the country. So we're helping them be progressive, I guess. This is like one argument of it. So I think it's the thing of like, I think maybe it boils down to the two sides of the argument being, if you disagree with a country's actions or whatever, do you try to help by going there and doing stuff with them to try and establish a connection with the people maybe? And like, there's an argument to say like, hip hop is a very revolutionary movement. So the more hip hop you bring to a country, maybe they'll be more inclined to speak up against their government based on all the history of hip hop and how that's been done. Or the other side is, if there's someone doing horrible things, you boycott, you withdraw, and so that they get the message of like, oh, this, like they feel the pressure and they feel the heat of, oh, this thing is wrong. So yeah, I think it's like the one thing I'll say, is like with the internet, like nuance is always lost. And I think the algorithm and the way people respond is like, the more strongly worded and firm and negative something is, the more you see it. Like, it's very hard for like nuanced conversation to get any traction on online. And most times, sometimes I like to have conversations with people on every side of an issue just to be like, what do you think? What do you think? And I think when I do, I kind of hear like, I'm like, oh, I see I might not agree with you, but I see why you think the way you think. But when I see it in two lines on a tweet, I'm like, I think you're an asshole. But then when I hear more, I'm like, oh, okay, like, or in a comment or whatever, you know, I'm like, you can't express yourself well in a comment. You can't say all the human things that you need to say in order for me to understand where you're coming from. So one thing I would say is like having these conversations on Insta stories, or at least, you know, he put out a video, which is fair. You know, he can explain himself a lot better. And I completely understand his side from that video. But I think when you have these really deep, complex arguments, I'm like, to be honest with you guys, I'm even reluctant to talk about it here. But I thought, you know, I'm confident in my kind of reasoning, and I'm more just sharing both sides so that you guys can be aware and like have an opinion about it. But the problem on the internet is like people just take 2 sentences, or they take a comment and then they run with it. I mean, we saw that on one of our recent reels. But it's like, yeah, I think what I would urge everyone to do, and what I try and do, is like, if there's someone I disagree with, or I don't think, like, based on something they post or share, I would ask them and be like, yo, explain this to me so that I can understand more before I disagree with you.
Yeah. Also, like, just do some research, because just seeing one post on Insta is like, and just believing everything like straight away is like rotting your brain. Like, there's so much fake news on social media. You can't trust anything. Like,
yeah. This is the wider topic, not necessarily those both things, but yeah, it's like you might think you know where Bruce is coming from, but he like even what I was saying before about, like, you know, I don't know what conversations he's had behind the scenes. So if he's like if I spoke to him and he's like, yo, listen, I went through, look at this planning I did to make sure no one that's involved in that is for the war. I asked every single person their political belief. We've got, you know, like, he could have done all this stuff that I don't know about, and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I had disagreed before, but now that I hear that, like, you don't know, and you can't. He's not explaining every aspect of it. And similarly, if you're on the side of like Bruce and you're looking at Maxim and being like, oh no, art should connect us, it's like, well, also you need to understand his position, and you need to do, you know, I'm sure if you went to Ukraine you would probably feel what he's feeling, you know. So yeah, I think it's like it's a difficult one. I think you have to make up your own mind and not really, like, this is the hardest thing, but you got to try and not be influenced by other people and what everyone else is saying. You've got to make up your mind in your heart of like, here's what I think is right or wrong. And like, in the same way that, you know, like, put it like this, I think that both of them are within their rights. You know, if Bruce wants to do this, cool. But if you want to not go to Just Debout, or you want to boycott, that's your right also. And like, people don't have to agree or disagree. Like, if someone else doesn't care and goes to Just Debout, okay, that's their decision. If you care and you boycott and you don't go, like, there's so many things and like political issues that I'm not going to necessarily speak about now, that I completely disagree with the way people speak about it, or what they say, or the things that they highlight. I completely strongly disagree. However, there's their right to voice those things, and I think that's the most important thing. So, like, say the video that Max put up, I think, like, good. Like, if you feel a way, like, voice it. Like, that's what the internet has done, is that it's democratized, like, these things where everyone has a platform, you know, and you can use that to speak on the issues that you want to speak on. So I think, like, everybody's well within their rights to do that. And like, to have, like, this seems like a, you know, it's obviously not a fun, friendly conversation, but it does seem so far pretty like constructive, you know. They're both saying what they feel to each other, and I think, I mean, it's very difficult, but conversation, I think, is the way forward with a lot of issues, at least between people, you know. I think the more you understand each other, the less we hate each other, and that's what is fucking up the world a lot of times. But yeah, please excuse me if I did not cover every issue of this political topic in depth with full research. I'm doing my best to speak on stuff, and to not, you know, remain like completely silent when I think there's something that involves our scene that relates directly to these things. But yeah, and I'm just saying this, like, I'm talking about it, but I know a lot of people that don't talk about it, because the minute you open your mouth about anything, you get attacked. And I think that's what's holding us back, is that, like, people don't talk about stuff because they're scared to get attacked for their opinions, or them trying to navigate a conversation. And I'm talking every spectrum of political issues. people don't want to talk about it because if I say anything, I'm going to get attacked because I'm wrong. And it's like, well, then how do people learn? How do people say stuff and have conversation and learn to be better people? You can't learn just by yourself. You have to have conversations and learn. And I'm lucky that, well, fingers crossed, like this audience is understanding. And also I've got a lot of friends that I can say things, and if I'm wrong, they'll go. And I've got friends from all over the world, and I've spoken to my friends about a lot of issues that are very delicate in the places that they come from. But I can say, hey, I don't understand this. It seems like this is fine, but why is it wrong? Everyone, and they go, well, here's why it's wrong. And then I go, cool, I understand now. But if they had just been like, what do you mean you don't understand? Fuck you. Then I never grow as a person. So I think this is something that's really important. So, yeah, the whole mantra of this podcast is that conversation will change the world and make it a better place. So let's continue to do that. Let's try and be as understanding as we can while not backing down on the issues that you believe in, which is your right. So love you all. Let's move on. What have we got else?
We are. I love how we went from like a very heavy and like serious
to another heavy topic.
We are going to watch a battle.
Oh yeah. True. Okay, cool. I didn't know we were doing this next. Yep.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, let's check this battle out.
Give us the context.
Where is this? That's my question. Where is Break to Move? But basically, there was an event where Poppin C and MT Pop did the 2-on-2 Poppin, and I saw that and I said, "Whoa, I want to watch that." So then, when I went to watch it, I found there was a video of the 3-on-3. Oh, Malaysia. There was a video of the 3-on-3, which was not only Poppin C and MT Pop, but also Stella was there.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit of a Red Bull gang. By the way, people... never mind. No, you know what? I'm not going to have too many rants there. I've got to save some for later. Save my rants. So I thought, what's better than watching Poppin C and MT Pop? Watching Poppin C and MT Pop also with Stella. So let's check them out. Yeah. This is open styles, all styles. That one. I mean, Stella looks like he's going to take this, but as in he's going to go next. But I'm always interested, like these dancers that I find are like influenced by Crump, like Stella. I'm like, it's interesting to see them on a Crump track. Like Majid did an EBS demo, which was really cool actually, because his hip hop is like famously influenced by Crump.
Nice.
So it's nice to see. Oh, it's going to be nice to see how they approach a Crump track. You can see the experience, how much he's like taking his time.
Yeah.
Like the other guy felt a bit lost on the track, like he was riding it a little bit.
Yeah.
Stella really looks confident in like how he's approaching it. And he's like tapping into these like ways of Crump, like these little bounces and stuff.
I love how composed he looked actually.
Yeah.
It's a bit different than usual.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying about why in hip hop we need some slower tempo tracks, because when you can slow down the dance, you are able to like fill those in betweens, and it's like filling that creates such a nicer like composure structure. I always wonder about the DJ's choices in all styles.
Like such a jump, like.
No, but also it's like you've got Poppin C and MT Pop and you're playing.
Yeah, true.
I mean, maybe this guy looks like he's a popper as well. Oh, hello. Maybe not.
I don't think so. Oh, it's a breaker.
At least it was on beat. I'm like, I don't know if he's a breaker or a popper. Maybe he's both.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, Oh. To be fair, if you've got a funk song and there's two poppers, the way to do it is to not do popping.
Yeah.
That's good battle approach.
He looks really young. I don't know if it's me or the camera angle.
Could be. I mean, yeah. Not going to be either of them on a popping song, but
yeah.
Good approach. Oops, wiped his feet. Weird. It's like you already get points for just sitting on the song nicer. Like the other, again, it's like 2 rounds in a row the other team haven't really sat on the song well.
Yeah.
That's an experience thing as well. Oh, you see the other guy like doing this, like. I find this so funny. It's like, I was going to talk about this with BC1, where it's like sometimes like in battles people will do stuff and I'm like, what are you? He's like, no. It's like, no, what?
What are you saying?
Like, I don't understand what you're saying because that was a good round. No, that wasn't good. No, you didn't do well. Like, you know, sometimes people do that. They'll be like, nah. And I'm like, you need to make this more clear because none of us understand what you mean by that.
Okay.
Little wild card song. This is at least levels the playing field a bit more.
Do we know who this team is?
No, what does it say? That's the title.
426. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the dancers.
Again, not really sitting on the track well. Empty Pop with his cute little jean shorts.
You just know it's gonna be fire. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I think this is mostly an experience thing. Like MT Pop's like that wasn't like the best round I've ever seen from MT Pop, but it's like I think there's more rounds.
Oh,
no?
sorry.
That's all right.
Ooh, that's a lot of rounds. What are they doing to each? Oh, banger. Ooh, okay.
One of the biggest mistakes I find in All Styles battles is forcing yourself to do the style that you think needs to be done on the song.
100%.
Because you're not used to it, so you very rarely will that work.
Yeah. Like you'll do one step and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? You know?
Yeah.
100%.
Why are they changing the song? Only one person went.
I don't know.
Oh.
No, it's the same.
Ah, this is a remix. I would have had MC go on this. What? And there goes the battle. Yeah, they haven't lost a round for me yet. The Red Bull team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He did not know that part was coming.
Why is he dancing in a corner? I'm so confused. Oh, there it is.
These guys are good. They just feel not as experienced as these guys.
I mean, it's like, it's super intimidating.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Battle and it's like, you know, three massive dancers.
Yeah, that's a good decision to make to go on this. Bit of tectonic electro.
Okay. I didn't know he could do that. Oh, yeah.
I think he just does. MT's on some side quests.
I love it. I love electro. I wish we had it in London a bit more.
Look, the guy's saying it again. He's like, no. No, what? That was really good. This is just a fucking victory lap for them now. Rude. So it's only 5 rounds. Yeah. That's interesting. Makes you decide who's going to take it. That was cool. I mean, yeah, I've said what there is to say about that. I think that was fun. Yeah, I think like with the all sales stuff, you gotta just stick with what you're good at and apply that to the music. Like, okay, keeping this short so there's not another rant. Here's some advice for all styles. Every dance style has a dance underneath it. And what I mean by that is like house has the jack, hip hop has the bounce, like popping has a little groove underneath it, like Afro does. They all have just like the basic bounce, right? That basic bounce you can do on any style. You can do the house jack on funk. You can do it on crump music. Like there's a bounce to every music and there's a bounce to every dance style. All you have to do is when the song comes, match your most comfortable bounce to the song, right? So if it's an Afro song, you don't have to dance like an Afro dancer does. But if an Afro song came on in a club, you just bounce without needing to know all the techniques. You just dance and bounce, right? Once you can, like, just even do the 2-step while the other person is doing their round. Once you find your bounce, then your whole dance should be built on the way that you do a 2-step or the way that you do your natural bounce. Like a house dancer like Jev or Rory, their whole style and the way they move will be based on how they just do a simple jack or bounce. If you can match that to the music, then your whole dance then snaps into place. Does that make sense? Like the timing, the rhythms, the phrasing, all snaps into place on the new song. If you start by trying to do a bounce or a dance that you're not used to doing, like you start trying to do like an Afro thing, then you're not going to be used to the transitions, the phrasing. You're not going to be used to all of it because that's not how you naturally dance. So even if you're not doing popping, let's say, this little groove that you would do in popping, keep that and then just do whatever else you want to do over the top of it. But you've got to work with your natural way of dancing in an all-styles thing or when applying to other music. This is also why it's so good to train to other styles of music. A lot of people just, especially now, train on their style of music. And it's like, even if now it would, but back in the day it would have been like, all right, if you get a song out of your style, it's a bit difficult. Now it's like, if you get a song that you're a hip-hop dancer that only trains on boom bap, and then you get a slightly faster paced battle beat and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And it's like, you've got to like practice on other music so that you're comfortable just dancing on anything. And this is the whole thing when we go back to rant about clubs, is like in the club, you might be a hip hop dancer, you might be a funk dancer, whatever your chosen thing is, but you go to a club and you hear everything and you learn to dance to everything. So yeah, anyway, that's that. Let's move on. Shout out to Poppin' C, Stala, MT. I love you guys. You're all great. See you probably this weekend.
Nice.
It's very nice.
So you brought us a little video.
Yeah, this one.
I'm so curious about it.
What about what I'm going to say about it?
No, just about what it is. Like,
you haven't watched it?
I mean, like vaguely. Yeah.
Okay. Vaguely.
Are we watching first or are you giving context?
No, let's watch it.
Okay, wait.
One thing I realized with dance, you have to be hardworking, you have to be resilient, you have to be able to multitask, you have to be able to handle rejection like no other person. You have to be really, really, really good at no's. And when I transitioned all the skills from dance into high ticket sales, I realized that was exactly the same thing. Actually, what was happening was I didn't realize all the skills I was learning and loving and enjoying from my dance career. If I just transitioned them over into sales, this is actually the perfect fit because all the skills I already had moved over into something that just paid me more money for the work that I was putting in.
All right. With all due respect and love to Becky Hughes official, I'm sure she's lovely and she's making a great point for her. Here's my issues with this reel. First of all, she says like, I've transitioned over into something that's making more money for the work that I put in. It's like, okay, but don't put that on the whole of dance. Some people are making a lot of money. It's not that dance doesn't. This is what I love when people do this. When they're like, yeah, artists don't make any money or dance doesn't make any money or blah, blah. It's like, no, you just didn't make any money in dance. It doesn't mean that dance doesn't make money. There's people that are very well paid. Yes, there's things that are paid more, but also dancers have a better hourly rate than a lot of other jobs. So that's one thing. The other thing that I don't love is, I mean, this is such a typical like sales, like these people that do like sales, and it's always like, oh my God, this is a whole other thing, but it's always like, it's sales of what? What are you selling? Like, oh, I do sales. And it's like, that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like, not that it doesn't mean anything, but I'm like, it's like, yeah, you should get into sales. What, selling bags of coffee or fucking cars or courses on how to edit videos? Like what, selling what? Because I'm sure that's a skill set, but like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I think the thing that annoys me with this reel most of all, and it's not a deep thing, I'm just kind of like, it's like, this is a lighthearted rant or a lighthearted complaint, but it's like, people always talk about dance as if like, dance is my people that say, oh, fucking dance is my superpower. I'm like, fuck off. Like, it's like, oh, actually, dancers are so underrated. Like, we are actually superheroes and we can do so many different things. But like, right, here's the truth of it. She's saying that all the stuff that she learned in a dance career, she was able to transfer over to sales. Valid. Fine. What she's also saying is dance has so much in it that can be transferable to other things. Also valid. However, it's not because dance is some special medium that teaches us, like she's framing it as if like dance teaches us so many things that like other things that, like if I went to be a swimming instructor, I wouldn't learn these things. But as a dancer, I learn how to do this, I learn how to do this. And wow, we need to, it's like, the reality of it is being good at anything teaches you transferable skills, right? So it's like, if I was to run a McDonald's for 10 years, I would learn stuff at running McDonald's that would enable me to run a dance company, like leadership skills, like delegation, like all these different like tools that you get. And it's not about dance is this magical thing that like enables us to do so many other things. And I hate when it's like, you know, I mean, there was this thing in COVID where it was like, I don't know if you guys remember this, where it was like, it drove me up the fucking wall, where it was like, people were, because, you know, obviously in the pandemic, everyone went and watched like Netflix and blah, blah, blah. And there was these posts going around. Sophia, did you see these? Where it was like, when the world shut down, when everything went wrong and blah, blah, who did you turn to? Artists. Like, there was like these posts, like, it was like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like that. And the kind of sentiment was like, when everything went badly, like, you turned to artists to save the day. And I'm like, I am pretty sure we turned to scientists and doctors first. Like, exactly. Like we did not, the artists were the last people we turned to when we were like, all right, everything's being sorted by the politicians, by the scientists, by the doctors, by the nurses, by the key responders. All right, I'll go watch a Netflix movie. We didn't turn to them first to save the day. It's like, fucking relax. And it's like, I think I'm saying this from internally because I'm a dancer and I'm a creative and I'm an artist, but we put ourselves up on such a pedestal. And it's like, everybody's on their own pedestal. We all contribute in some way. Like, doctors are massively important, like scientists are massively important, fucking like people that, you know, bring money into the economy in any way are also important. Like, there's so many things you could say, like, all right, I'm a policeman, I'm an ambulance worker, and like, yes, as artists we bring something to the table, but also like, this comes up in so many different types of conversations that I don't have time to go through now, but it's like, yes, we are important, and yes, it is a very, like, you know, essential that we do need art in society for sure, and it's very important, but it's like, so are a lot of other things. Like, let's relax a little bit with these things. And what also for me rings false about this is like, you're using it to probably sell. I guarantee if we look hard enough, she's selling a course on sales, which is hilarious. It's like, my job is I'm going to teach you how to sell things.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it feels what is high ticket sales? We did this conference. You didn't do it with us. No, it was me and someone. We did this conference where it was like a full day of like, it was like sales conference basically. And I had to film it. And like, they had like 7 different speakers. It was like a full day, 8 hours I was there. And I don't know what they did at the end of it. It was like stuff like high ticket. So the new software is going to provide network solutions for client-based tickets. Like, I'm like, what is a network solution? Fucking, like, what are you saying? It's just all these like words that mean nothing. But that's probably because I'm not in that world. But yeah, high ticket sales for dancers. Yeah. So anyway, this whole thing like rings false a bit for me, of her being like, as a dancer, you can learn all these things that transition you over into sales. It's like, yeah, because you want to sell. You're trying to sell whatever it is to dancers. This is not just a selfless podcast that you're trying to be like, oh, actually, I learned so many things. And yeah, like I said, anything that you do in life, experience is good experience. Because even sometimes, you know, if you do a job and it's complete bullshit, you're learning about how to not do things in that way. You know, if you work for a shitty choreographer, you're actually learning how to be a choreographer. You might not be learning what to do from that choreographer, but you're learning what not to do. And that's as essential as learning what to do. So anything that you pursue to a high level is going to be useful. And this is why I think it's like, you know, in a life pursuit, some people sit and wait to decide what they want to do with their lives until they've got it all figured out. And I think the way I've always moved and the way I think people should move is just do something. Whether if that goalpost change and you do like a little zoop, 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 your whole life, fine. But there's nothing that's like wasted, you know, like you go and spend 6 months working on a thing and you're like, that's not the right thing for me. It doesn't mean you didn't learn anything and that time was wasted. It's like everything contributes to like learning more skills and if you're like, the actual thing that you should be learning is how to transfer skills. And I think like, let's say that's what I feel like has been a lot of my success is like, I did one thing and then when I did the next thing, I took with me all the ways I learned that first thing. Like if I was to learn a new skill, like if I was to learn BMXing now, I'd be way better at learning BMXing than when I was 17 because I've learned 5 different things in my life. So I know how to learn and then I know how to market. I know how to expand myself within an industry. And yes, there's like, this is what she's trying to say about dance, but she's framing it as if like, yeah, but dance is special in that way because it has, and I hate when people talk like that, like dance is special because it has so many transferable skills. You are a special,
but also
superhuman. And
it's
you
not
don't
even
know
the skills. Like I feel like the skills she's talking about is like confidence and being likable, and I'm just like, it's not a skill. Like it's just, it's just
But you can get that in anything. It's just like doing. It's just I hate when people. It's for me. It comes off as pretentious. It's like we are dancers. Like, oh, you work in a bank. Oh, that's cute. I'm an artist, and this is the kind of vibe I get from when people talk like this. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. It's like everybody's valid in their own thing. Everybody's creative and artistic. Like, you don't know that guy that worked at a bank didn't come up with an entirely new system how to run shit behind this. Like, creative is not a fit. Like, everybody can be creative in some way. Everyone can be artistic in some way. Just because I dance and I move my body is my art. It's like, doesn't make you any better than anyone else. So I'm like, I hate when people talk as if like, oh, we're better than anyone else. And this is coming from the people who's being she's talking about me, and I'm rejecting it. I don't want that. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's not that deep, guys. I'm just kind of lightheartedly ranting about it. But yeah, I'm sure this is I'm sure she's not selling anything, and it's just for the betterment of the dance community. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's freaking move on, dudes.
You wanted to rant about something else. Talk to us.
Freaking talk about it, guys.
What is it?
All right, I'm not going to actually rant about what triggered this thing, but I'm just going to rant about the thing in general. Because I always talk about it, but when it comes up in other conversations. I'm talking specifically in the battle scene, but this goes for a lot of shit. I'm really fucking sick of some of these organizers, right? There's there's multiple like events and battle organizers across the world, not just the UK, although it happens in the UK, that these people are not good at what they do. Organize an event is not just about making the event happen. It's about looking after your dancers. It's like paying everyone fairly. It's about treating them respectfully. It's about not safeguarding people. It's about making sure that people feel respected. Like, there's so many things to the event. It's also about making the event run on time. Knowing, like, there's so many things that it entails, right? And one of the things that I really don't like sometimes is that, like, sometimes it's just some person that just starts an event with no experience, they don't care about event running, right? Like, I wanted to start a podcast because I love like dance and the community and the scene. I also love podcasts. So my love is split. It's like, I want to talk about the dance, but I also want to make a good, entertaining podcast. And I put as much attention on that as I do the community. But some people will talk about, like, they will start an event and they want to have a successful battle, but they don't care about running a good event, and they don't research or try and be a better event organizer. They just make it happen and then move the fuck on. And I disagree with those people a lot. But even more than that, what I think is, like, we as dancers need to communicate better. And I think that the thing is, like, and I felt this with something that happened recently where there's an event that I know that I think are shit. And I had a friend that went to that event and didn't have a great time. And I felt bad because when I saw the flyer with her face on it, I was like, I'm not going to be an asshole and write her and be like, yeah, screw that event. Because also it's like, as much as I am angry with event organizers and that stuff, I also think it's within, like, it's kind of a duality. Again, nuance, guys. It's like, I hate that and I will be outspoken about people that don't put in effort. However, it's their right to run an event. They're like, I would never stop them from doing it, you know? I just won't fucking support it or won't go or anything. So when I saw this thing, I was like, okay, this person is well within their right to run an event. And this friend of mine who is going to judge, I was like, oh, maybe she has a good relationship, and just because I had a shitty time and I have a bad relationship doesn't mean I have to put that on her. So I didn't say anything. She went and had a bad time, and I said to her, like, fuck, I should have told you. Like, I knew all this stuff. I should have warned you about it. And I knew it was going to be like that. Like, I could have predicted this a mile off. But I've kind of held back because I was like, I don't know how to navigate this. And I think the answer or the conclusion is, like, we just need to communicate better. And like, I can say to her, yo, this is the experience I had. I'm just giving you a heads up. But obviously I'm not saying don't go. Like, go do it as you want, but just be pre-warned. Or if you decide you're not going to do it based on what I'm saying, that's your choice, not mine. And I think sometimes we, like, in the same way that these event organizers just go about doing their thing, get their check and go home. Sometimes dancers will go and judge or go and do something, have a shitty time, and then just collect their money and leave, and then let the people that are coming after them get fucked as well. And it's like, you've got to kind of like look out for the other people that are coming up after you. Like, yo, I judged at this event, it was shit. Let me just, you know, let the next people know. It's a hard thing to navigate, you know, because you don't want to. I mean, also, there's like people are scared of destroying relationships sometimes. You know, they're like, oh, I had a bad time, but he might hire me again if I don't say anything. And this is, I mean, again, I'm not going to put that on anyone else that you have to behave in a certain way. Like, you do what if you know, you need to get your money, get your money. Sometimes, like, you know, you got to pay rent, you got to, you know, pay for food and stuff. So I get it. But I do think we need to communicate a bit better about when things go badly and not be scared to say either to the organizer or to each other, like, this was not a good experience. And also to know what a good experience should be. Like, the friend of mine who I'm talking about, and it's up to her whether she wants to go public with her opinions, not me. But like, she asked him all the right questions, like about fees, about is this happening? It's like, she is clearly a very well-educated person. She's very young, but like very well-educated person on this subject. So she asked all the right questions. And sometimes dancers don't even ask all the right questions. Like, guys, realistically, we shouldn't be sharing rooms as grown adults with strangers that we haven't agreed to on any jobs. Like, we shouldn't be, even if you know them, it's like, me and Tally had this conversation. It's like, we don't want to share with each other when we go for work stuff. And it's like, I love Tally with all my heart. I would, like, comfortability wise, like safety wise, like, I would happily share a room with Tally, but I'm an adult and I shouldn't have to. Like, there's privacy concerns. There's like, what if somebody, you know, has like a medical issue that they need to deal with in the night or something? It's like, they might not want that being fucking public knowledge to some guy that also does the same style of dance that they do. You know, like, so it's like, organizer, that's a basic, like, organizers, you shouldn't be putting. And it's like, I've had people in the past where it's like, oh yeah, can you come and judge this event? Oh, you're going to stay with my friend James, you can sleep on his couch. That's not how you run an event. And if you can't afford certain things, either you get your friends to do it. If I was your friend, it's like if Lewis said, can you come up and film my event and you can sleep on my couch? Fine. This is one of my best friends, more than happy. That's a friendship arrangement. If someone that I don't know hits me up as an official paid job, and then there's all these things, like, no, if you're going to reach out to people beyond your friendship network and you're not asking for favors anymore, you've got to do the right things. And dancers need to know what those things are so that we can push back on, hey, I don't want to share a room. Hey, I should be paid per diems if I'm at a certain thing. Hey, there should be information provided 72 hours before the event so I know what the fuck is going on. Like, who do I send my invoice to? Am I getting reimbursed? Like, all of these like things that is like basic knowledge. What are the fees? Like, before I agree to something, are you free on this date? Can you do this job? Cool, I've confirmed you. Here's your no, hold on. What's the fee? You can't book me until I agree to the fee, right? I did this to you this week, though. That's different. You have to work
all the time.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, when it's like not your friends and close team, when you're reaching out to people, it's a bit different. I mean, ideally, even when it is your close team. So that's the first thing, is like, dancers need to be more aware. Some of the event organizers are moving insanely mad, and we're letting them get away with it. And we're going back to their events every year. Stop going back. I've heard people be like, oh my God, that event was absolute shit. I had the worst time. Next year, anyone going to this event? What do you mean you're going back? Fucking have some integrity. There's enough events in Europe and in the UK that you can get your shit without having to go back to stuff that you disagree with. And I'm not telling you which side of an issue to pick. If it was like something that I think was run perfectly, but you had an issue with it, don't go back. Like, if you're like, oh, there wasn't enough women on the judging panel, and that's something that do so, like, don't talk and then not do anything, and then the next year be like, oh, anyone going? Like, I have specific ones in my mind now where I'm like, you're spending £200 to travel to an event that last year you bitched about, and it's like, like, don't go. Otherwise, they're never going to learn, because then it's just talk on the internet and it doesn't mean anything. When you start not going because of the money, like, then people are going to actually make a difference. And I'm fucking sick of some of these event organizers. Now, the other thing I will say, and this is the thing that really does fucking piss me off, is some people are not good at choreographing shows. Some good people are not good at running events. Some people are not good at doing projects or exchanges or whatever the thing, but they're good at writing applications. And this is something that slips through the cracks, and it really pisses me off, because it's like, people get a bunch of money because they're good at writing applications and selling themselves and saying all the right things, then run a piece of shit event or put on a terrible show, and then it goes well in the sense that it happened, and then they get funding again, they get funding again, they get funding again. And it's like, why am I going to watch a show by someone who's a good application writer? Or why am I going to an event that's run by someone who's a good application writer? Like, there's some, and I mean, we would need General Tally here to talk on the producer element more deeply about like Arts Council or these other funding and like what it is that gets them an event and what checks they do to see how well the event went before they do their reports or whatever. But some people are getting away with murder in the stuff that they're pulling off. And it annoys me because, again, it's their right. Like, if these are the rules that, you know, Arts Council or whoever has set out and they write successfully, like, they found a way to, like, not game the system, that's a bit harsh, but kind of. Fair enough. But it annoys me because I know some brilliant choreographers. I know some brilliant event organizers. I know some brilliant events that already exist, but it's being run by people out of their own pocket. And none of this, by the way, is about me. Like, I'm very happy with the amount of support I get. And I'm talking about other people who, like, they struggle year after year to get funding. It gets cancelled. They've got brilliant ideas. They really care. They do the right things. Even with very little money, they make sure everyone feels included and safe and all these things that, like, other event organizers don't do. But this guy gets 30 grand funding because they wrote something well. And it's like, or they're, you know, whatever the other reasons are. And it just really fucking pisses me off because there's something, I don't know what the answer is, honestly. I don't know what the solution is because, like I said, it's their right to write the applications. It's Arts Council's right to give the money to who they want to give to, especially if the application looks good. But it just seems like there's something messed up in the system where there's some brilliant people that are falling through the falling through the cracks and not getting support. I mean, monetary support. And other people are year after year after year with a country-renowned shitty event. Like, you know what I mean? We all know it's terrible, but they're throwing money at it. I mean, there's some also that like privately funded, so do your thing. Like, again, and this is why I'm not necessarily like calling out certain events because I still would fight for their right to run those events, even if I think they're shit. They deserve to be able to put them on. I just think there's something messed up in the system, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I was going to say one other thing. Yeah, the other thing in the vein of transparency, I would be more than happy if people want to write me, because this is the thing. Like with that person that judged this event, I didn't reach out to her to tell her. But also maybe she doesn't know that I've got like a blacklist of people. And I'm not talking about blacklist of like, I don't like the way they do. There's a lot of events that I don't like the way they do things. I don't think it's useful. There's personal things that I have with certain people. All of that is irrelevant. Like if I don't like someone as a person, but they're doing an event, I would never not support that event because of my personal issues. I make a very, very fucking clear line between my personal issues and my like professional practices, contrary to popular belief. But if you do what I would say is like professional misconduct, whether you treat people badly, you do things that are like in the professional sphere, you do things wrong. If you're like, you run a perfectly good event and you're just an asshole to me on the street corner, I will never hold that against you. Or if I don't like you or you don't like me, I'll never hold that against you professionally. And a lot of people don't have those, they don't see the conversations I have behind the scenes, but I do. I big up people that I don't like all the time because I think they're good at what they do, and that's what should be the forefront. And again, you could run an event that I think is stupid, or I don't like the concept, or I don't like the way you run your event. But if it's a successful event and everyone, you know, gets paid and does their thing, great. Like that's not my business. I contribute the way I want to contribute. You can think that's stupid, and you can think of what's the fucking waste of all this time doing a podcast. Do something useful. Fair. Like you're allowed to think that. And if you're doing an event that I think is stupid, I'm allowed to think that. But let's not like cross those into like the personal boundaries. All that to say, I have currently, I think it's 3 events on my professional blacklist for like professional misconduct that I will never work with again and I will never support. If you want to know who they are, feel free to write me and I will tell you, because I want to be transparent about why I don't work with those people. And it's not anything to do with personal issues. It's to do with professional misconduct that I think is not acceptable to anyone, no matter who it was. And I don't think, I'm not ever going to work with those people. If other people work with those people, That's so up to you. And that is, I will never stop you working with someone that I don't work with. But I don't work with certain people because of certain things. So if you want to know who they are, I'm happy to tell you. I will never tell you not to work with them. I'll just tell you who they are. And one thing that does happen with, I think we need to do more of is like, call up people that have worked with people. Like if there's someone that's going to come in and help with the podcast, I would call someone that I know. Like if Sophie's worked with someone, I would be like, yo, Soph, what do you think of this person? Are they a nice person? Are they cool? Do you trust them? If Sophie trusts someone, if Sophia trusts someone, if Inish trusts someone, I'm pretty sure I can trust them, or I'll at least give them a chance. But I think we need to do this kind of like vibe check thing a little bit more, because sometimes we're just letting people, especially young dancers, like young dancers should feel like they can reach out to any of us that have been in the industry a while and ask, is this person cool? Without if like Sophia, I have worked with for years. I trust with so many things. I think she's a fantastic person, producer, filmer, editor, blah, blah. If someone wrote me and said, yo, I've got Sophia come in, just off the record, like, can you tell me, like, is she cool? Like, is she going to be reliable? I would never tell Sophia, first of all, like, that's none of your business. But also I would never ruin like that person's relationship with Sophia. Like I would say to them, yeah, she's cool, and you're allowed to question that, and I think it's a good thing that you come to me and ask, because you never know. So I will confirm, or if it was someone else, I would be like, she's not that great to work with. But I think sometimes people are scared to reach out because they're like scared that like, oh, if I ask Luke, is Sophia reliable? He's going to tell Sophia, oh, he was bitching about you. He said he doesn't think you're reliable. And then you're not going to want to work with him, which I would never do. And I don't think people should do. It's like, if you call me up and say, yo, Sophia's an asshole, maybe I'm going to correct you. But if you're professionally inquiring, I need to know if she's reliable, what's her track record like, and you've worked with her. That's what a reference is in jobs. And it's not unprofessional to do so. So young dancers, you can always reach out to me, or experienced dancers, you can always reach out to me and ask, and I'll tell you my opinions. And I have to say, I've been very lucky in the industry that I've had a lot of people that have had no business giving me, like people that I don't know, and I've just reached out and gone, yo, can you give me some advice on this company? And they've given me all their time and effort to explain their interactions with that person. So yeah, I think that is enough said on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, every issue in our scene boils down to event organizers. Judges, who hires them? DJs, who hires them? Fucking 30-second rounds, who decides them? Like, do you know what I mean? It's always the event organizer that it boils down to when there's something fucked up,
Yeah.
If there's like someone that's like judging events that has a bad history, like who allowed them in the event? The organizer. If there's a bad judging decisions or there's no criteria, it's not the judge's fault. Yeah. It's the organizer that didn't come in with a criteria. So
yeah, I feel like there's also a thing of like, I wish there was more support between producers, because I feel like it's also like, there's not really like people most of the time they do it just without like qualifications or any experience. They're just like, I have this idea and I want to put it out there, and it's like where is the support system? Who are the people you can reach out to be like, oh, like how do I run this? How do I do this thing? Like it's also like kind of, I think there's both. I agree with you completely, but there's also this thing of like, it can be like quite like harsh, like for organizers as well to do the right things and to please everyone. So
yeah, agreed. But you're putting on a public thing. 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you kind of have to. Yes, it's harsh, but you've chosen.
But then there's the thing of it's like, what are the infrastructures that are lacking for producers to do a better job?
Like event producers, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Maybe we need more like education around event organization and stuff. Sure, but yeah, I'm thinking of very flagrant examples. So if there's mid examples that are like just a kind of poorly run event, it's kind of not them I'm talking about. But that's where I agree. The education you need. There's some things that are like blatant, flagrant violations,
like red flag.
That I'm like, this is not an education issue. You're just an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, there is also agreed. I think we need more education in event organization so that we can run better events, so that we can make the community a better place.
Yeah.
Fucking agreed.
Woohoo. Last but not least.
Yeah, I actually had that in my head. I was about to say it, and then while I was thinking it, you said it.
Connection.
So, one to watch segment for this week is there's a producer, I believe from France, called Jude 2K, and Sydney.
No, I think that's his name.
Oh, I was like, he's Australian. Speaks fluent French for an Australian. So Jude 2K produced a recent track that went viral called Big Kiss, I want to say.
Yeah.
and it's a remix of Tele-X's Aliens versus Monsters, which Tele-X himself remix. Like this is like remix upon remixes upon remixes. But he actually, first of all, a lot of the music is fantastic. Like I dance to a lot of his stuff when I'm training. Like I would definitely recommend, if you don't already know about Jude 2K, like well, first of all, follow his Instagram, but check his SoundCloud, his Bandcamp, whatever. Try and support if you can afford to like buy producers' music. It's always important to try and buy it. I understand if you're just throwing on SoundCloud to train, maybe you're not gonna like buy every single song. If you can and you really like a song, like try and, you know, it's probably not that much. It's like, I don't know how much songs are, but like £3 something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
even less sometimes.
Yeah, like throw him some, you know, now and then if you really love a song, throw some monetary support, which, you know, it's not crazy to throw a little bit for each song, but like it makes a big difference for them when multiple people do that. And it's just good habits to get into. But yeah, check out his stuff. Like obviously the views on SoundCloud and all that will help as well. But one thing why I wanted to mention him is because he's been making some really cool content recently. He first of all, he did it when he went viral on TikTok for this Big Kiss track, but then he made something where what he's explaining is that he made a Judge Demo song for Anissa. Also, while we're here, can we just shout out Anissa? First of all, probably one of my favorite hip hop dancers. I reckon she's probably in my top 10 somewhere. Just style wise, just cool as fuck. So good. She's been around for a long time, as long as I can remember being around. I think if she wasn't around before me, she was around a similar time to me. So almost 20 years at least. But she's fucking fantastic. Also, she's a mum and she runs a platform. Sophia, can you look up her platform, please? It'll be on her page because I want to shout out what the name of it is.
This one?
Yeah, read out what it is. Influence
Wame?
Wait, is that a French something or is it just...
No, I don't know.
So Influence, WAME. But basically it's like a page which, in a way, kind of like the capsule, but it supports mums in the industry, women and mums, I think.
Sick.
I don't think... Is it just mums? You can look on the bio.
Media 100% women.
Okay, so it's...
Sorry, that was English. 100% women.
You can say it in French, it's fine. Okay, so it's for women, but I think like it's this idea of like women and motherhood and like supporting them in the scene. So definitely shout out to her for doing that. I think it's like, you know...
That's so sick.
Yeah, she's killing it with this platform. And she's done a pretty good job. Like the content looks nice. She's been really up on stuff. It's regular. I think, you know, to care about an issue because it affects you is one thing, but then to like... It's kind of what I was saying with the last topic where it's like, you know, you were affected by certain things. So then you look back and you're like, well, I had it difficult. So I'm going to help the next people that come through. And this is, again, it's kind of how we make the world a better place, you know? She runs like I think it's a podcast, like a full podcast that you can go and listen to.
Yeah, Bienvenue chez Wame or Wame. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. But she does interviews, whether or not it's a full podcast, I think you'd have to go and check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's online. Yeah. So she's got a podcast, she's got a platform. Like this is great stuff, and it's like 100% women focused, which I think is great. Like I think I said this so many times, and we spoke about it with Tally one time. But it's like if everybody takes care of their corner of the world or their corner of the scene, collectively the world will be a better place. So I love this that Anissa's doing this. I hope we can do a podcast together, Anissa, sometime. Please, if you're ever in London, come through, or if I'm in France, I'd love to do something with you.
That's so cool. I'm so amazed.
Yeah, check it out, follow it.
Yep. Period.
So yeah, that's great. And then coming back to the Jude topic, I think Anissa had reached out to him to make a song for her Judge Demo.
Exactly.
And so he made this content, like, so she did the Judge Demo, she posted it, it's fantastic, obviously, no surprise. Then he makes this content about him making the song for her Judge Demo, which I think is so sick. And like he's like, you know, he's got the voice note that she sent him, and it says that he edited this whole thing, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
which is sick. Like I didn't know that he's into like the filming and stuff, but the content looks great. It's actually quite funny. Some of the bits, like there's some nice like stuff that comes up. It's really engaging. Like I sat and watched it.
Yeah,
you know, I sat and watched it all the way through, and it's like a lot of times I don't do that, you know, unless it really catches me. But he's got like the memes and everything. Like, yeah, it's funny stuff, man. And And it's like informative. He's like, if you don't bounce your head, I'm going to delete the video. But yeah, so just like something to go check out if you're listening to the pod regularly and you want some recommendations. Also, one thing I'll say, I'm not a beat maker. Sophia, I didn't send you the song that we're going to listen to this week.
Oh yeah, send it to me.
Well, I'm not a beat maker myself, but one thing I would say is that one thing that like Telex did really well, I think, is he used different type of vocals, and for me that's one of the things that makes Telex so unique. And I think people like Jude 2K and who's the other guy that I really like, JK, like who's JK? Yeah, he does this as well. Like, I think what annoys me sometimes, like people make a sick beat and they throw for a while it was Doechii, Busta Rhymes. It's like the same songs of the same artist that they just throw a vocal over the top, and I'm like, not another fucking Busta Rhymes remix, you know? Like, it's the same song that's been remixed 7 different ways or whatever this week. And like Telex did that. Like, a lot of the stuff that he uses is like, not only is it different vocals like from like T.I. or whoever else it is, but he plays with and remixes the vocals in itself, and that's what gives these songs a unique sound. And I think what Jude did in this one, Sydney. If his name's Sydney, why is it Jude 2K? Anyway, he used a Lola Brooke vocal. And like Lola Brooke is not like a huge artist. She's great. I love some of her tracks, but she's not like Doechii level of like public awareness. Yeah. But she's got some great shit. So it's like, you know, you as a producer use your knowledge of music to bring something a little bit different to the table and give it a different sound. We've heard Bounce from Busta Rhymes so many times. We've heard that, like, you know, if I hear another fucking Doechii remix, I'm gonna shoot myself. But do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is the thing that makes these things special, and that's what I wanted to shout out Jude as well. Like, the song itself is great and the vocals are great, and he's got a lot of other good songs. So go and check him out, not only on SoundCloud and Bandcamp and wherever else, but also on his Insta. Check out the content. It's really cool. Yeah. We love you. I've had plenty of good training sessions thanks to your music, so salute. And on the subject of beat makers, our good Frank remix. Speaking about remixing vocals, on topic. No, our good friend Fayme has sent a unreleased song, and I thought this would be a nice new segment for us to do. If you're a beat maker out there, Jude, if you're still listening, or if you've tuned out now that we're not talking about you anymore, or any of the other beat makers, creator, whoever else, if you want to send us in any of your unreleased tracks or your recently released tracks for us to listen to and have a little boogie in the studio too, like this, please feel free. Exactly. It would be cool for us to, and I think, you know, it's hard. Honestly, I would love to make podcasts more like the radio, where you like have music more often, because I think it's such a nice thing to have some songs played. That was one beautiful thing about the radio, is every now and then they play a song. But with podcasts, you know, you get copyright and all that if you try and play anything. Yeah. If you play a Busta Rhymes song, like YouTube representatives come to your house and slap you on just to don't do that again. They just hold you down. Don't fucking play Busta Rhymes. So what I think is a good way to avoid that is, like, we use people within the community, and it's nice for us to have a little boogie. If you're driving in your car, or if you're listening to this with your dinner, just give us a little shoulder shrug. I mean, I don't even know this song yet, so maybe it's not shoulder shruggable, but I reckon it is. So yeah, I'm going to shut up and we're going to listen to Fayme's new song, which I don't think is even released yet. You're welcome. Called I Be Doing This, because he do be doing this.
it, get it, that's why my baby been about. Sit with your margin gave you go and bust it out. Make a sip, get it, that's why my baby been about. Sit with your margin gave you go and bust it out. Get it, that's why my baby been about. Make a sip, get it, that's why my go and bust it out. Miss it, get it, that's why my baby been about. Sit with your margin gave you go and bust it out. Now we doing the spit, them out. Bomb now we doing the spit, them out. Bomb now we doing this out. Make a spit, them out. Bomb now we doing the spit, them out. Now we doing this.
Very nice.
We love it, Fayme. That's a good
Fayme,
one.
you're the best.
Play it in some battles for me, and I'll rehearse all the...
Right in my playlist.
No, you're not allowed it in your playlist.
Yes,
he said it to me.
Yes, because Fayme's my best friend, and he'll
Fayme
let
doesn't
me do
care about
anything.
you at all, he said. He told me.
Yeah, right.
He said he doesn't like Swiss people.
All right.
Right, shout out Fayme. I like that song. It gets the capsule seal of approval. That's the seal of approval. That's what we should do.
Okay, we need to record that.
Yeah, is that
I mean, it is.
Is that a good sound effect?
Yeah.
We need to record that, she says. The whole time this hasn't been recorded. Yeah, and if you're a producer and you want to send in your tracks, please do. And we will show them or premiere them or listen to them. Yeah, is there anything else that we wanted to bring up this week? Sophia gang?
I don't think so.
No? Is there anything else you would like to say to the people? Are you super excited that Red Bull is going to be in Zurich?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You're not even
We're
from
talking
Zurich.
about people.
Like
Even today, we watched the battle. It's Popinci, it's Stella representing, and this is representing.
They're not
like,
from. They're not from Lausanne.
They're not. No, they're from Vevey, but still.
But still, what?
Still, it's like 10 minutes away. It's not that far.
It's 10 minutes away. It's not
Exactly.
Still
my people.
You stay on that. Pick a
Still
side.
my people.
All right, fine.
Even though they never heard of me.
So
yeah, Christian has.
you're gonna be there in Zurich?
Hopefully.
Gonna try
I'd
and come?
love to.
Sick. Yeah, Dance Your Style Zurich. Sophia's gonna be in her element. She's gonna wear like what do Swedish?
Swedish.
What do Swiss people
Rude.
wear? Like, do you guys have like a little? Do you wear clogs or something like?
Let me show you. Swiss.
We're gonna have to put this on screen. This is what we're gonna dress Sophia up as at Dance Your Style World Finals. Yes, Sophia, you better have this.
Oh my god! And you
Now,
need to
save those
know.
2 pictures right now because that whatever that big wooden thing is,
It's the corn.
it's the.
Yeah.
Why you point at me and say, "Yeah, she did it"?
Sorry, I thought it was
That's
you.
like the Australian, the didgeridoo. Thing.
No, it's not Australian. It's Swiss.
No, how does it do? So what? They just go in the mountains and play a big wooden pipe.
Yeah.
Sick. All right.
And the yodel.
Yodel. Ah.
That was a terrible yodel, but yeah, that one.
It looks like that German, like Bavarian type vibe.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
like
something?
they probably copied us.
Oh, they probably go. I'm Swiss with fucking kings of everything.
Exactly.
No, I love you, Switzerland. Excited to hopefully come for Zurich. Sophia's going to be there dressed like this. Please save these pictures because they are going on screen. I'm going to... Please Photoshop your own face on the top of them. Please, Sophia, you can do it. You haven't got any other work to do.
That is not true. I'm actually a very successful freelance person, guys.
There we go.
Please hire me.
Positive mental
I'm
attitude.
a producer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a DJ. I'm anything you want.
No, guys, honestly, Sophia's going freelance. She's leaving her work. She's going to be freelance in the big wide world of producing, DJing,
Oh yeah, and I'm a
filmmaking,
producer.
editing. Anything else? Podcast producing.
Yeah, podcast producing, 100%.
There
If
you
you
go.
have wanting to be, wow, this is not.
If you have wanting to be, I'm Swiss. If you have wanting to be a yodel. I don't even know what that's like a fucking Scandinavian, isn't it? Accent.
That
So
was
you want to try again? Just say it in French, it's fine.
You know what? I'm not gonna.
Sophia speaks
Just
three
message me on
languages. I
Instagram.
speak
Email
one
me,
and a quarter.
Sophia@thecapsulelondon.com. Thanks.
Bang. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. You know what, guys? Also, one last thing for people that are still here after all the Bavarian fucking singing. So basically, 2 people. So basically, Joe Monkey Flip and Kieran Warner are the only 2 people still listening at this point.
Big up.
I want an intro and an outro. Like, I need to set something that we always say, like, at the end. You know, like an Anchorman and shit, they have like a thing that's like a sign off.
Yeah.
We need something for the capsule, so I can't think of one. But
We're like, and that's facts.
and that's facts. No, because most of this is not facts. And that's not facts. And that is probably none of this is true. And, well, oh no, what about my thing that I always say, like, it's just my opinion, but I think I'm right.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, that being said, I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, the theme of this week is nuance. This is conversation. It's understanding. It's taking care of each other. We're approaching Christmas. Let's all make efforts in our... Like, to be honest, the internet has been a bit crazy the last couple of weeks. Not from my perspective, but like as in what's been happening. There's a lot of crazy shit going on Twitter and stuff that I'm seeing anyway. And I think we all need to just be a little bit better with our internet use and learn to... It's not come off the internet, but be a bit kinder with it. Be a bit more understanding. Try not to lash out at people. Try not to make hateful comments in people's comments or in their Twitter replies or Insta comments. And I think if we all just took a fucking deep breath instead of commenting when we were angry, the world would be a better place. Because you do not realize the effects that these things have on people. You might be commenting on, you know, Kendrick Lamar's Insta post or J. Cole's YouTube or something and being like, oh, they're never going to see it. And yeah, it's just just because you're never going to see them see it doesn't mean that they don't see it. And you do have an impact on the people that you interact with. And that's very obvious when you're face to face with them. It's less obvious when you're commenting online. So try not to let that detachment lead you down a road of being a piece of shit and making people's lives less fun. And that is my parting message, which I will leave you with. For the two people that are still listening, good night. Or good morning, depending on when you're listening. Or happy lunchtime.
All right.
Enjoy that sandwich, guys. That's my sign off. That's been The Capsule. Enjoy that sandwich. Peace, guys.